Hi, it's me again. I did it again, one of the audio things. It's only a couple minutes though. I just got finished making another audio file. 3 hours almost. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not going to record all that at once. That'd just be a lot. Too much, probably. But yeah. I don't know what's going to happen. I got to get this out there. If it's the last thing I do. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, what's the big deal? You know, like, because right now it's the tooth thing. And I know to a lot of people it's just a tooth. It's not that big a deal. You're right, except for one, how important my teeth are to me and always have been, which is something I talk about in the almost 3-hour video. And then two, it's just another thing. It's just another wrong, failure, whatever you want to call it. So, um, so yeah, I talked, and yeah, and a lot of it actually is about personal stuff for me that I really didn't want to share. I really do not want to share my personal stuff. I have actually spent a couple years now sitting on this because I've avoided wanting to share my personal stuff. But I'm finding out that's probably not going to happen, that I'm going to have to share it. And that's not easy because in the very beginning of the video, I said something about hiding. You know, like I need to hide. It's part of why the audio recorder. I can't do this for too long. I get flicklimped, I guess. Let's put it that way. And also, the lighting's better because it's during the day. But that's also something kind of on purpose. Wearing hats, sunglasses, it's the same kind of idea. It's a way of keeping hidden while out in sight. Well, I have difficulty doing the talking thing all while doing the recording thing, all while the rest of the world around me is still happening too. It's a lot of focus here, and all around me here. So it's too much. So it's nice. That's why the audio recording thing helps. I know it might be annoying to some people. Sorry. I'm not perfect. I'm trying. Not to be perfect. Never trying to be perfect, but I'm trying to do this. I'm really trying, and I know you don't know me, so you really don't know what this means to do this, what it takes. I mean, just the setup alone, for preparations alone. I know it sounds like it looks like I just sat down in front of my closet and just started videotaping, but it's not at all that. This isn't even my room. Well, in my home either, technically. It's just not easy for me. We'll just put it that way. And also I don't like my neck. I forgot about that part of things. I never have. Ever since I was a kid, like I've never liked my neck. Never have. So anyway, I'm not gonna bore you with a bunch of stuff. I'll do that in the 3-hour one. I probably won't actually record it all at once. I'll probably do it like in 6 videos. Gosh, 6 videos. I know. When I first thought about trying to make these videos, actually try to do it, I was like, no, I'm just going to do one and done. Maybe 2, maybe. But really, I just want to do one and done. Which, you know, there's a lot to cover. That would be like so many hours. No, we're not going to do that. But it took me a while to realize that I was what I call over-functionalizing. Trying to put all this into one little space. It's not right. It's not natural. It's not, which is why it's called over-functionalizing. If it was the right thing to do, it'd be just functionalizing. You'll find out more about that. Anyway, so yeah. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not good on the spot. I'm really not. I wish I was, because it'd probably be nicer to just, ooh, see my face. I don't want to see my face. Sorry. I don't like showing my face. It's not because I don't, it's not because I don't think I'm pretty, because I can go look in the mirror right now and be like, hey, what's good looking, and I can. I don't think I have a bad looking face. But, but compared to other people out there, I don't have makeup on, I don't have any of that stuff on, blah, blah, blah. So compared to a lot of other people out there, no, not really. But I'm okay with that, actually. I really am. Of course, our mind wants to tell us otherwise sometimes in order to protect us. For example, again, you have no idea how much I'm fighting this, just this right here. So if I was doing what I actually would normally, naturally, the real me would want to do, I would probably have on makeup. Not because, ooh, I want to make myself pretty to the world, but because I would have done it for me, actually. Because that's normally what I would have done to enhance. I wouldn't have, even with makeup, I wouldn't have overdone it. I would have just enhanced what's there, kind of thing. I would have wished that I had done more. But what I would have actually done would have been just to enhance. And like the YouTube video, like, I'm not like other people. I don't have things flashing across the screen. I don't have my face going, I don't, some of those videos I can't handle. They're too fast. Anybody else notice that? No, I don't have that condition where the world is too fast for me. I think the world really has gotten faster. And whereas that's not the worst thing in the world, it's not the greatest either. Your brain, your mind, your body, everything needs sleep, right? Well, we also need that too. And I think more and more we're starting to make things too fast. And we're going to, of course, we adapt. We're human beings. We adapt, to our surroundings and whatever. So we'll adapt to it as it gets faster and faster and more demanding. And we will continue to adapt until we have so many health problems. Mental. Oh, could there be a connection? Maybe. Anyway, what I was saying was, normal me would have been like, no hat, hair down. Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy or type person, And I'm trying. I'm really trying. But then that would also mean that I would most likely be happily putting videos up, and I would probably put lots more videos up, and because the mind is trying to do what I call functionalizing, actually it's over functionalizing, it's trying to draw in on itself, hunker down, survival mode. Yeah, it doesn't want me to put up all these things. The more happier I am, the more I'm going to do. So my mind also is trying to use the information of, well, the more videos you put up, the more chances for you to get, these comments, these bad comments, dislikes, going to make you feel bad, going to make you depressed. We need to avoid that. We need to stay away from that. So we need to let's not do these videos. Let's not do them. Let's stop us from doing them. I told you I have to fight this. And even, sadly enough, it even says even good comments and likes can be just as devastating. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Good information is sometimes just as bad information. or things, information. Anyway, I can't believe I've already talked 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. That wasn't supposed to be a long video. Ah! And I've actually talked. That's cool. That's cool. But like I said, I've been talking for 3 hours, so it's almost like I've already done my warm-up exercises or something. I don't know. I think part of it is also I'm still avoiding calling the dentist, and this is making it okay to do that, even though I need to call the dentist. I really, even though my brain is saying I don't need to call the dentist, and I also don't need to leave these kind of videos. Apparently the need to not call the dentist is more stronger than the need to not do the video thing. Haha. Because if I didn't have to call the dentist right now, I probably wouldn't be doing this video. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry. That's a lot. I mean, I haven't actually looked up on YouTube to see if there's like, anytime you look up on these things about depression videos, it's more commercial type videos. I don't see people, there's a reason for this, by the way. I don't see people who are depressed talking about their depression as much. Like really getting into the nitty gritty. The stuff that we don't want to talk about. Yeah, you know it's true. You know, I told you in the one video, I know the truth, the whole truth, and I know the lies. Consciously and subconsciously. So yeah, I don't see a whole lot of things like this, so maybe I'm a pioneer. Woohoo! And I hope that I won't be the last. I hope that maybe other people will be encouraged to do this too, because I think it's real important. Anytime you want to understand, anytime you want to beat something, or at least, you know, maybe not win the war, but win some battles with, the better you understand something, the more you can do that. It's like the never-ending story. It's one of my favorite things. Once they gave the nothing, once they knew what the nothing was, it could be dealt with. Once they gave it a name, which actually was a girl, that's a little weird. I'm probably looking at that movie all wrong. It's okay. The idea is that, once you know what something is, it's no longer scary, or it can be explained, or, you can deal with it better. So it's kind of my goal in this whole mental health thing. And not just to help people on a general level, but to help people on a major level, because I think I'm really onto something here, people. And I do explain in the 3-hour long one. Sorry, I gotta pause a moment. So I get why some people are probably thinking right now, like, okay, if you've got the cure to depression, which it's not a cure, by the way, it's not. But if you have another tool in helping with depression, then how come you've got depression so bad that you're still having issues with the videos and da 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 da? I explain that. I explain why that still is. There is a reason for it. Yes, it's kind of by choice. Kind of not. I explain why. If you knew you were standing on the edge of a cliff, you would have the choice to stand where you are or to jump. You would have that choice. So anyway, so yeah, without further ado, I should probably play that video. Oh my gosh, my machine shut off. Yeah, okay, so I hate this thing. It's not what I signed up for. I thought it would make life easier.
It's difficult and overwhelming for me to explain, because among other reasons, there are so many different people out there with so many different ways of thinking.
You know what? This really was supposed to be a short video. I forgot. I apologize. I'm wondering if I should just continue anyway. Screw it. It's only 10 minutes. 15. Daggone it.
And doing things. But it's almost like I need to come up with an explanation for each individual person. An explanation that will make sense to them as well as draw them in. But the truth is, I should just keep it simple, stupid. What it really comes down to is this. Everybody has two sides, the functional and the emotional. It's very important to know what characteristics and attributes are attributed to each of those two sides. It also helps you to determine which one you more so favor. And when I say you, I also mean your brain. There is a difference between the two. Think of it kind of like the conscious and the subconscious. Not quite, but remember, we're keeping it simple for now. All people use both these sides and the characteristics and attributes on them back and forth constantly, with one side slightly being favored.
Hold on 1 second. I just want to add this real quick because I didn't go into that. When I said that about the subconscious and the conscious, think of it like the functional side is the subconscious, the secret side, and the conscious is the emotional side, the more like our face side, what we see, what we hear coming out of people. So it's kind of like that. The reason I say it, think of it like the conscious and the subconscious, is because the functional side does not talk. It does what it needs to do. It speaks through the emotional. Once you better understand the theory, you'll understand why I kind of made that comparison. And the idea is just to simply say, we consciously are aware of what we're doing, but subconsciously we're not always aware of what's going on. And that's one of the reasons why I use them as a comparison, is because oftentimes we know how we're kind of feeling, but we don't always know what we're thinking. Get it? But technically speaking, with the conscious and the subconscious, there's technically emotional and functional in both of those. So the conscious has both of the two sides, and the subconscious has both the two sides, technically. But just for conversation's sake, so nobody gets confused, think of the functional as like the secretive side, because it only does what it needs to do. Ready? Okay. Oh, whoops. It's playing without playing. Sorry. You're going to start over again? Really? Sorry. So I'll just
For each individual person.
fast forward.
And then I should just down big sides, the functional and the emotional.
Yeah.
It all more so favor. And when I say you, I also mean your brain. There is a difference between the two. Think of it kind of like the conscious and the subconscious. Not quite, but remember, we're keeping it simple for now.
Stupid. Sorry.
All people use both these sides and the characteristics and attributes on them back and forth constantly, with one side slightly being favored more than the other. On average, most people are 40 to 60%, meaning almost half and half, but not quite. Sometimes you're balanced, sometimes you're imbalanced, but both are natural. Balanced is good, but an imbalance gives you a chance to see what life is like on the other side of the tracks, or to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, meaning the imbalance is just as important as being balanced. Now, as long as you're imbalance rights itself and balances back out, you're good. It's when you stay imbalanced that it is not good. That is when you start using the characteristics and attributes from those two sides incorrectly. Think of it kind of like you use your heart to make a decision when you should be using your head, and vice versa. So that's the simple version. It probably sounds cliche and maybe a little too simple, and also a little bit duh, but I assure you there's a lot more to it than just that. Now, of course, would be the time to add the shock and awe cliffhanger that keeps you coming back for more, but I'm not doing that. I'm keeping it simple, or at least attempting to. So you either want to know about your brain, or you do not. Nope.
That's it. Good, Toby. Okay, so There was one thing that I would like to add that I didn't put on there, and that was when I was talking about most people on average are between 40 and 60%. I didn't talk about the above average because there are those people out there. They're the more noticeable ones. They're the ones that people say um, they oftentimes have difficulty. Um, I don't want to say belonging. Like everybody has times where they feel like they're the outsider, but the people who are above average, they can tend to have more of that time because they are they do they're really oh my gosh, I hate to say this because it's a television show, but there really are people out there like her, and that's one of the reasons the show was made. Actually, it's based on a real woman, but the woman, Dr. Temperance Brennan Bones, yeah, clearly she looked very different. She was different. She acted all that's right. She didn't look different. Of course, because that was an actress. Sorry. But I mean, I'm sure that even the actress, the way she portrayed the character, was modeled after a particular person, maybe that particular person that it was based on. But you see how it was very noticeable. She was very noticeable. The way she talked, the way she moved, the way she did things. We all probably know someone, maybe not quite to that extreme, but someone kind of close to it. Someone that's got, we were watching the show and probably went, you know what? That's like cousin, so and so. Remember him? Remember how he used to always have to have his food a certain way, or da, 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 da. Yeah, like that. Um, Most of and sadly enough, the functionalists are kind of the ones who get picked on a little bit more than the emotionalists. Emotionalists because of their ability to roll with things and to be compassionate, empathetic, and all that other fun stuff. Even when they're being their overboard self, we'll say naturally. And it's not quite the right thing for the situation. They just have the ability to roll a little bit easier. That's why it's easier on people who, even though they're an above average emotionalist, you know, that ability to roll with things makes it really easy, and being compassionate and understanding. But the functionalists, they really kind of get the short end of the straw a lot of times, especially because and this is one of the reasons why this is one of the reasons why I felt the extra push to get something done about this, and that's because every once in a while when I can't sleep at night, I'll swipe left or right on my phone, and it'll bring up this vine of information and the stuff going on in the world. And I saw this story. Um, I think it was on a site called Bored Panda. A father was having issues with his sons. They're either twins or they're close, really close in age. One of them, he's not having an issue with him. It's the one son that he's having an issue with. He remarried, and the stepmother did something that she shouldn't have. She excluded the one child, and her reasoning was because he wasn't going to be involved anyway. And normally I just read those things and just fume quietly inside, but then I saw messages that were responses that were being left on there about how you need to get that kid to a doctor. He needs to get on medicine. Maybe he does. I'm not going to say anything because I'm not a doctor, but maybe he doesn't. So the kid lost his mom. So yeah, I do think he needs to talk to someone, work stuff out. But at the same time, some of those attributes about him are actually natural. I know it sounds rude, but why should you do something if you don't have to? For example, if somebody else's birthday party is happening, is it your birthday party? No. Are those your gifts to get excited about? Nope. Especially, here's a good one. Did you bring a gift for that other person? Nope. Then why go? You don't need to. And I know it's like, I know the first thing in people's minds is like, well, because it's for that other person. You're emotionalizing. Because we have to, gosh, everything I have to say is just going to be it's going to sound whiny, I'm sorry. But essentially, the answer to all of those things is, oh, well, because that's what we do for other human beings when we're human beings to ourselves, all those kind of answers. You're basically saying something to someone who's looking at you going, I see this. You're trying to show me this. I only see this. And that's just how it works. And there's reasons for it. And there's good reasons for it, actually. Everybody's got their weaknesses, but they also have their strong points too. Can't always see them. Can't always see the weaknesses. And but they're there, and they're important, and they are. And if you change something about someone naturally, that's not always a good thing. So it freaked me out when I started seeing all those, replies talking about medication. There's something wrong with that kid. He needs to get help. I mean, there's something really wrong with that stepmother, but there's something wrong with that kid. Well, actually, to be honest, I do. Whereas I don't agree with the way the stepmother did it, I see why she did it. It does, I get it. She was trying to teach him a lesson. She thought by excluding him maybe this one time that he would feel bad, and then from then on would know how grateful he should be for having his family wanting him to be around. Blah, 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 blah. I get it. I know. I could help you with that, but no, we're not going to go into that, especially because I have no clue if you'll ever even see this video. If anybody will ever see this video. Anyway, but the important thing is that, not the important, that's the number I was at. Where was I at? I'm sorry. I go off on these little tangents, and then I forget where I was at. I know I was on the kid and everything. I was scared. I was worried of this because I know that that's not the only kid out there that's parents are sitting there going, well, maybe we should put them on medicine because they're different. Don't jump to that one. Please don't jump to that one. And I only say that because I have known some kids who've been put on medicine, especially kids who are put on like Adderall and Concerta and all that other stuff. And a lot of them complain about being zombie-like. Like, they're not in control. Like, they're in control, but they're not in control. I know exactly what they're talking about. I can explain it. I can go into it, but I'm not. It's definitely a little bit of an explanation. But the point is, they don't like it. So they don't like taking their medicine because it's not the real them. If you want someone that's like that, this is just a side piece of advice. I'm not guaranteeing it will work because it's different for everybody. But if you want someone like that to see your side of things, you have to do it in a way that not just makes sense, because it might make sense to you, but makes sense to them. It's tricky. I knew this woman who had this son who was like that. And she'd tell him, I love you, and he would just kind of look at her. And she had another son, too. She could say it to him, and oh, I love you, Mom. Yeah. Yeah. Can you tell which one's which? Anyway, she didn't know. Like, she always felt like she'd say it to him, and it was like it didn't, it's not computing here, man. The other guy gets it, not this one. So then, based on a suggestion, she used a number. She said, from now on, what this means, I can't remember exactly how she explained it to him, but whatever way she said it, she used it in a way that made sense. And she said, so from now on, this is 2. And that's what it means. I won't say it because sometimes it's overwhelming. I know you know this one. Sometimes someone's very voice, just their voice, not even what they're saying or how they're saying, but just their voice can be overwhelming. Yeah, I know. And she knew that, based on advice, she knew that her voice could be overwhelming at times. So she learned to just do hands and even just, that's it. And that meant I love you. And he smiled when she did it. He got it. He understood. He may not have understood love in its all of its capacity, but he understood it meant something important. And so I bring that up. I say that because, I mean, oftentimes there are people in this world, they don't understand emotion necessarily. And you say, oh, you've hurt me with what you did, whatever. Well, hurt. Hurt how? How much? You know, if this person borrowed a CD from you and you look at them and you say, you hurt me because, you know, you broke my CD. Well, they're looking at you thinking, like, it's not important. A CD's not important. That hurts you. And they're not computing, right? And hurt, like, on what level? A 1, a 2, a 10, something. Give me something here. You can't just say you hurt me, or even you hurt me a lot. That again, that's too many variables, too many open. There's nothing definitive. You're not going to get through to that person. Want to get through to them? There's ways to do it. Again, lots of different examples. I can give them to you later. But the point is, that's why I put these. That's one of the reasons the fire under the backside kind of thing is happening here, because I saw those remarks and I was just like, I gotta do something. I've gotta do something. I've seen a couple kids now that they were on that medicine and things turned out bad for them as they became adults. I've also seen where it's been a good thing too, so can't say bad for everything. But in all honesty, the one kid that I saw turn out pretty bad, I don't believe he ever should have been put on medicine. No. There was a reason why things happened the way they did for him. I saw them. Of course, I'm not a doctor, so I have no authorization, permissions, anything, not even respect in that community. So, who would listen to me? Nobody. But, yeah, I just want people to know that it's not always the thing. And therapy works great for some people, but some people it doesn't. Some may think medicine. But what if we maybe understood ourselves a little bit differently? What if we understood our mind in a different way? Now, the theory I've come up with, it's not to replace psychology as we know it. I was actually going to put a little video up about how to explain it, but it's a little too cute. It's talking about like how stars, and it's kind of like a little kid's point of view on this particular subject. The idea is that I'm not replacing psychology. My theory is just another tool, just like everything else. It's not going to work for everybody. Not everybody's going to get it. Some people will, some people won't. Again, that might all depend upon which side you favor more. At least when it comes